All right, today we're talking about a piece of machinery that, and I'm not exaggerating here, completely changed the world. It's a true unsung hero of global commerce. So let's dive in. Okay, so let me ask you something. What's the one invisible machine that powers pretty much all of modern commerce? I mean, think about it. Every single thing you own, right? From the phone in your hand to the food in your fridge, chances are this one machine has had its hands, or forks, all over it. It's literally everywhere, but we barely even notice it. So what is it?
He got it, the forklift truck. Yeah, I know, it might not sound super glamorous, right? But believe me, its story is packed with incredible innovation, born out of crisis, and it completely rewrote the rulebook for how we move, store, and manage pretty much everything that defines our modern lives.
So to really get a feel for just how big a deal this was, we gotta go back in time, back to a world without it, a world of, well, crude carts and just an unbelievable amount of manual labor.
I mean, can you even imagine? Before machines like this, moving anything heavy was just grueling, back-breaking work. The best tool workers had were these really simple two-wheeled sack trucks, kind of like the dollies you see today. And that was a small step up from just carrying everything by hand. Just wow.
Now, this idea didn't just pop up out of nowhere. It really evolved over decades, piece by piece. It kind of started way back in 1867 with a patent for something called an improved elevator. Then, fast forward to the early 1900s, and companies like Clark are tinkering with these gas-powered prototypes. But the real game changer, the one that set the stage for everything, came in 1923 from some engineers at Yale.
Yep, that Yale model. That was the big one. See, it introduced the vertical mast, that cantilever thing, that could lift heavy loads way up in the air using electric power. And just like that, you could stack. That right there was the blueprint for every modern forklift that followed.
So, the machine is here. It's revolutionary. But it didn't just take over the world right away. Nope. There was this one, surprisingly simple yet massive, roadblock standing in its way.
It was the pallets. Can you believe it? The problem was the pallets. Every company was using a different size, a different shape, which meant a forklift's forks might not even fit. It's kind of like inventing a key before anyone had agreed on what a keyhole should look like. It just didn't work.
So you see, the machine itself was only half the puzzle. The system around it had to catch up. And once we finally got standardized pallet sizes in the 1930s, well, that's when the forklift was truly unleashed on the world.
And that breakthrough, it perfectly set the stage for the next major chapter in our story. A chapter where a massive global crisis would turn the forklift from just a useful tool into an absolutely essential one. World War II. That was the forklift's real proving ground. Think about it. You've got massive labor shortages on the home front, but you need to move mountains of supplies and weapons, and you need to do it fast. The forklift became those crucial extra pairs of hands. It proved its worth 1,000 times over, and that spurred mass production like nothing we'd ever seen before. Okay, so the war is over and this industrial boom is in full swing. But that creates a whole new problem. Factories are just churning out goods, right? But warehouses, they're running out of floor space. So the big question was, how do you store more stuff without just building bigger and bigger buildings?
The answer was simple: go up. So engineers got to work and designed these slimmer, more agile, narrow aisle forklifts that could zip around in really tight spaces. And that one innovation completely changed the game for logistics. Warehouses started expanding upwards, not just outwards. Stacking goods to the ceiling became the new standard, creating those massive high bay warehouses we all recognize today.
Which brings us right up to the modern day, and a little glimpse into the future. Because the forklift hasn't stopped evolving, not by a long shot. It's a seriously high-tech machine now, and it's on the verge of its next great transformation.
I mean, today's forklifts are a world away from those early prototypes. We're talking serious upgrades. Operator safety is huge, with overhead guards and super ergonomic cabins. They've got onboard tech, computers that use barcode scanners and RFID to manage inventory in real time. And they're powerful, they're compact, and they are incredibly agile. And you've got so many options for how to power them now. I mean, sure, traditional gasoline and diesel are still around, but there's been this huge shift to cleaner, more efficient options. We're talking battery electric, liquid petroleum gas, and even really cutting-edge stuff like hydrogen fuel cells.
So, what does all this innovation, all this history, all this importance, what does it all add up to in today's economy? Well, it adds up to a pretty staggering number: $91 billion.
And get this, that's the projected size of the global forklift market by 2030. To put that in perspective, it was around 56 billion back in 2021. So this is not some machine that's fading away. It is a growing, thriving, and absolutely essential part of our economic future.
And the road ahead? Well, it's getting pretty clear. Automation is the big one. We're talking self-guided forklifts using lasers and sensors to navigate warehouses all on their own. And that big push towards electrification is only going to get stronger, moving away from fossil fuels. The evolutionary journey of this iconic machine, it is far from over.
Which, of course, leaves us with one final, really important question. As these workhorses get smarter and more autonomous, moving and even thinking on their own, what does that mean for the millions of people who operate them today? That's a question the industry, and really all of us, are going to have to figure out. Thanks for joining me for this explainer.